Alright, back for a second part of my video, and this video on how to install this aftermarket Android navigation system into my 2012 F250. And today I'm going to talk about the solution for the steering wheel controls. It's quite complicated. Alright, so this is just going to be a little tips and tricks section. I'm not going to cover exactly the steps to be followed because that is what paperwork from Axxess is for. So, to start, got a Axxess ASWC-1. And this is used on multiple vehicles. And in this case, the steering wheel controls for the 2011 up F250 are CAN based. There's no way to tie into them the old-fashioned analog way because they go straight from here to the clock spring to a steering control module and then onto the canbus network. So we have to use this Axxess ASWC interface. It tells you in the instructions how to hook it up to this vehicle. Basically, there are pin 15 and 16 on your, which is right back here. I know it's hard to see, but they have a diagram for this. It's your 16 pin connector. On this side of it, it's the green and the green with black stripe. You wire in the pink and the blue and pink wire from the Axxess kit. And like I said, this is all covered in their instructions. And what basically that does is that allows the Axxess kit to communicate with the vehicle steering wheel controls. Then, this is where it really starts getting complicated. The output to the radio goes onto this wire here, and it's a headphone 3.5mm jack basically. But on the other side of it is a brown wire and a brown and a white striped wire. Okay, so this is the part that is not covered in any instructions from the manufacturer. On the back of the radio here, let me undo the harness. I'll show you here so you can see. If you're using the same radio as I, the same Android radio, on pin, let's see, I'll just show you the diagram here. This actually is correct if you look at this right. It says that your steering wheel controls, pin 9 is steering wheel 1, pin 10 steering wheel 2, and let's see, pin 18 steering wheel ground. The problem is, coming out of the back of here is only steering wheel 2 on pin 10, and it runs up to this factory Ford harness here. It's the brown wire, SW2, the brown wire. And then the black wire runs out of pin 18, which is steering wheel ground, and runs up into this connector also. But the problem is, like I said, on the older Ford vehicles, the steering wheel controls came into this connector. On the new vehicles, it's all communicated over the CAN bus over here. So we cut the brown and the black wire that goes into this connector, and I started doing a lot of testing. We only need the brown wire. What you'll do is you will connect, well, let me go back one step. Here's where it gets really complicated. I know I keep saying that, but follow me here, and I promise I'll get you through this. You take this harness, and this is where it gets a little difficult. You have to take the brown wire, which you can see right here. This is not where it was. The brown wire was on pin 10, which was right next door here. Pin 10 was over here. So you have to take the brown wire out of steering wheel 2 and put it in steering wheel 1. The problem is they did not include a steering wheel 1 wire with this harness. And that is the wire you need. So I had to take the connector out, and these are a little metal connector. And to get it out, you have to take a very small needle, push it down in the top of the connector to release the little metal clip while pulling the wire. And it took quite a bit of force. Felt like I was going to tear the wire almost, but finally it popped out of the 10 spot here. I moved it right next door to number 9, pushed it down until it's seated, thereby making it the, if we go to pin 9 here, the steering wheel 1 wire. Okay? Is everybody with me so far? Once you get that repinned, you can plug your stereo back in. All right. Now we're ready for the setup process. So in the instructions for the Axxess kit, it tells you how to turn on, and the first time you turn on the Axxess system, you have to make your power and ground connection and then your CAN connections. It will go through a process where it will try to auto-identify your vehicle and your stereo. In this case, it does auto-identify the F250 correctly, but since it has no idea what this is, it does not auto-identify the stereo correctly. So, once you let it go through its setup process as it explained in there, and then you need to manually change the radio type. Now, here are your options for radio types. There's 15 of them. I went through every single one of these options multiple times trying to find the best combination of things, because on each one of these, some function worked and other functions of the steering wheel controls didn't. The number 6, Pioneer and Jensen, worked for a couple of things. Like, you actually had a couple of things work, but then it was messed up. What I found to be the best option is number 12, Eclipse Type 2. And in instructions, it tells you here how to manually change the radio type. So I did it like 400 times, so I know exactly how to do it. On the Axxess box, there are lights. You turn the key forward, wait 3 seconds, and then press and hold the volume down button until the red light comes on here and stays lit. Then you let go of the button. And then you press the volume up button. Press and hold the number of times to the ready you want. So in our case, we're going to press and hold, and you'll see the light flash. So press and hold 12 times. You'll see the light flash 12 times. Then after 12 times, let your hand off. Press and hold the volume down button. The light will come on, stay solid for a few seconds, and then go out. And that means it's set for the radio type. In our case, Eclipse 2. Then, on the radio, we go into our settings. And we can go to steering wheel keys. You will hit the reset button, and then you will press volume up. I'll show you how that works. Press volume up, brings up our options. Find your volume up key or whatever you want to make the volume up key. It doesn't have to be that. It can be anything. Press OK. If you want to have a long press, I found that on the volume keys, the long presses don't really work, but you could assign a different key. Hit OK. Same thing. Hit your volume down key. You'll see that it brings up this menu. Select volume down. Hit OK. If you want the long press, which, like I said, it doesn't really work, do that. for the, then I went on to my seat keys, and I did, you know, one press is the, you know, next, and then long press seek up, etc. And the only other key that worked was the voice key, and I made that the microphone / Google Now, and then the long press is to home. Once you're done setting all these, click save, and I'll show you how this works here, or that it works. So we're going to go into our radio. Like I said, unfortunately the media key does not work, but I can hit the seek key and change stations. And then if I press and hold the seek key, you'll see it'll scan for a station. Obviously my volume keys work. Up and down. Voice key.
It doesn't cover every issue.
What time is it? Slowest Google search ever.
The time is 9:12
Okay.
p.m.
So, there you go. Everything works. And if I long press the voice button, I set that for home. It takes me home. Okay. So I know that was a lot of information, kind of quick, kind of confusing. Feel free to ask questions in the comments below. But once again, the main thing is you're only connecting your steering wheel 1 control wire, which in our case is the brown wire, to the brown wire. The black steering wheel ground wire is not used. The steering wheel 2 key or wire is not used. This brown with a white stripe wire that comes out of the Axxess kit is also not used. We're just connecting the 1. So it's getting late. I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. Hopefully this video is helpful. I found nothing on the internet anywhere about how to connect one of these Chinese Android radios to steering wheel controls, especially in a newer Ford with the CAN technology. So hopefully this helps you out. I'm glad I got it working. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Thanks.